The world has seen monumental changes over the past 10 years. We have seen a dramatic change in the free and open internet, which now has solutions to almost any question and has endless possibilities. We have cars which can drive themselves, computers that can fit into the palm of our hands and slide effortlessly into our pockets, watches that can do more than tell time, and now electric cigarettes which have tried to revolutionize the way people smoke. Within the past 2 years, e-cigarettes, also known as vapes, have taken over the market. More than 2.5 million people have switched from traditional cigarettes to vapes. It's more than 5% of the cigarette market. That number has increased dramatically in the past year and is still on the rise. What is it about vapes that attracts people? Is it their interchangeable parts which can be customized to fit the end user? Is it their flavors? Is it the popular culture that comes along with the vapes? Well, we were on a mission to figure out what has changed the planet we live on. This is not planet Earth anymore. This is the planet of the vapes.
Who's the hardest? Who's the
We asked several different people what their opinion on vapes is and if they knew anything about them. Here are their responses.
I think they're supposed to be actually pretty healthy for you. Last I read, I do a lot of reading here and there, but last I read they're actually better for you, keep carcinogens out of your system, better for your lungs. Mind you, they hit a lot harder. A lot of people who are used to smoking just straight, whether it be tobacco or other things that are going to be smoked, they're not used to how heavy those things hit, so they'll probably floor you pretty hard if you're not used to them. Anywho, don't know what else to say.
You know, these days a lot of things aren't tested, and they're using things that are probably harmful. And when you're breathing in foreign matter into your lungs, you have millions and millions of air pockets in your lungs. If those become damaged, you can end up with COPD.
My opinion on smoking, all my friends in my age, they were smoker are now dead. I am 63 and I am alive. It must be bad. That's the first thing. It takes money, and the life on the earth was created without cigarettes. It should be, the life should be without cigarettes. And it stinks. I cannot tell it in English. I can tell only a couple of words. That's all. Don't smoke. You die.
The e-vapor, I mean, it's not, smoke isn't as bad, I think, as a cigarette, but I don't really have an opinion. I've heard that there's also carcinogens in the e-cigarettes. So I'm not sure what's true or what's not.
Yeah, so I own a vape. It's pretty cool. And I feel like it doesn't really do anything bad. So, because I don't get any, or like sometimes I get nicotine but not too much, but it's like, it's not as bad as like doing cigarettes or anything else. So I've used them before, and I just like, basically I just like how it tastes, like it's cool, like it tastes cool a little bit. Yeah.
I've seen videos where the e-cigarettes have, you know, burst and blown up. Not totally fragment, but have burst, you know, feet in front of people's faces. And I just think it's, you know, there's a lot of companies that try to cut corners, and they're not going to give you the best wax or the best vapor that you can get, the highest quality. They're going to have the cheapest quality, and I feel for those people that, you know, that might be affected later on down the line from, you know, absorbing these chemicals, is what it is, into their bodies without, you know, a lot of research.
It's like, to me, it's like, I don't see it as like it's a bad thing or a good thing. It's kind of just whatever. Instead of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get high, then that thing's bad. You're like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna do vape here. It's not even like, compared to weed, it's like so much different.
Yeah, it's just Jones. That's whatever. Cool.
It seemed as though the more responses we got, the more we realized that the general public is rather misinformed. We talked to an expert enthusiast to tell us a little bit more about what a vape is and how it works.
Hi, my name is Jose Carlos Cesario Valle. I'm a vapor hobbyist, enthusiast, whichever way you want to put it. Been doing this for about 2 years. Started doing it after my snowboarding accidents. Picked it up about 2-3 months afterwards and been doing it ever since. And this is where it's gotten me so far. It's a pretty simple idea. Most vaporizers now consist of about 4 parts. A battery, there's a bunch of different sizes, different amount of power. You got the smaller ones here, about a medium size, and then you got the bigger ones. So other than the battery, you also have what's called the mod itself, I guess. Many different companies are making these nowadays, so they all look different. Some are more popular than others because they work a lot better. Other than that, you got the battery, the mod, and then you've got the atomizers. Now the atomizers are the top pieces, just like the same thing with the mods. Tons of different ones out there right now. So the atomizers, and that's what actually produces the vapor. That's where all the power is going. And then you got the drip tips, the last thing. Those are just where you put your mouth on. They vary, a bunch of different ones. And it's a pretty simple idea of how they work. All it does is, take this apart. The battery feeds in. You have a switch down on the bottom. It's gonna have a contact with an insulator. Screws in. So essentially all it's doing is you push the button, it completes the circuit, and that's it. There's really nothing more going on. So when you do push the button, the top piece up here, that'll get hot. And the atomizers is, you screw these on, and that's how the power goes through. And that's pretty much the end product. You know, it's not too complicated, but you got to be careful when you're doing it as well.
New research reveals e-cigarette
Broadcasted news is the only show that will be on television at all hours of the day. If you were to flip on a TV, you would be able to find at least one channel with a broadcasted news station. They report stories about anyone and any topic they choose. So it is no surprise that stories on e-cigarettes have been popping up all over. But why do they keep coming up? They must have a reason. Well, many stories have had the same conclusion. They all found that heavy e-cigarette use was bad for the lungs and the immune system. But one study stands out. According to the popular electronics and news website The Verge, a study was done on mice to test how vapes affected the immune system. Scientists exposed one set of mice to a popular brand of cigarette vapor, Enjoy, and then 2 weeks later, they were exposed to diseases such as pneumonia and the flu. The study concluded that the mice who had been exposed to the vapors had a much harder time recovering from those diseases than the mice who had not been exposed. It seems like as time goes on, more and more studies are being conducted and are concluding negative results. That is not to say that everything about e-cigs are bad, though. They allow people to freely express themselves through their customized mods. They help people relax and take their minds off the struggles of everyday world. They have created a new market in the economy which has helped people obtain jobs which only 2 years ago did not even exist. Finally, they create a culture. It may not be the healthiest of cultures, but it is one people can enjoy and look to as a hobby.
I'm just a shadow of a